Video game journalism, the bane of many a hardcore gamer, cursed in the pits of every Call of Duty lobby and damned by every misguided fanboy whose console or game had been slighted that week by one of the many publications consumed online. Let's take a step back and understand the roots of journalism itself before going into this latest failure in communication and comprehension. Journalism as we know it today has evolved over centuries, shaped by technological advancements and societal changes. In the early days, handwritten newsletters and pamphlets were circulated to share news within communities. The introduction of the printing press in the 15th century revolutionized the consumption and distribution of information thanks to newspapers. Before we continue on the evolution of how journalism has been wielded, it is worth pausing for a minute on what journalists are and what is expected of them. A journalist is a professional who engages in the collection, analysis, and dissemination of news and information to the public. Journalists work across various media platforms with the aim of providing the public with accurate and timely information. Widely expected journalistic behaviors include, but are not limited to, accuracy and truthfulness, independence and objectivity, fairness and impartiality, accountability and transparency, public interest, independence from commercial and political influence. In summary, a journalist is expected to be a truth seeker, unbiased observer, and public servant committed to ethical standards. The core values of accuracy, independence, fairness, accountability, and respect guide their work, ensuring that the information they provide is reliable and serves the greater good. Coming back to the evolution of journalism, newspapers, after their rise in the 15th century, became powerful tools for sharing information, shaping public opinion, and holding those in power accountable. Careers, corporations, and even governments rose and fell depending on what the newspapers like The Guardian and the New York Times published. Why? Because it was a community-wide given, an afterthought, that these same publications were above all else free from the shackles of conflict of interest. Throughout history, journalists have played a crucial role in exposing corruption, championing human rights, and bringing about social change. Fast forward to the digital age, and we witness a profound shift in how news is produced and consumed. The internet has apparently democratized information, enabling citizen journalism and challenging traditional media hierarchies. Today, journalism serves many functions, including informing the public, acting as a watchdog, providing a platform for diverse voices, and fostering transparency in society. These principles are the bedrock of ethical journalism. Now that we've established the historical and functional aspects of journalism, let's zoom in on a specific subset: video game journalism. In recent years, the landscape has shifted with the rise of video game access media, where outlets often have early access to games for reviews and coverage. Gone are the days when gaming magazines were the primary source of information. Now gamers turn to websites, YouTube channels, and influencers for the latest on their favorite titles. This shift brings both opportunities and challenges. While many video game journalists maintain high ethical standards, concerns have been raised about conflicts of interest. Some outlets receive early access, review copies, or exclusive content from game developers and publishers. This relationship raises questions about the independence and objectivity of reviews. Additionally, advertising revenue from the gaming industry can impact editorial decisions. Are media outlets hesitant to criticize a game when a specific portion of their income comes from that game's publisher? Will your favorite face on the screen cover those juicy leaks from that company that gives them exclusive access? It's a dilemma that challenges the very integrity of video game access media. So the big question becomes, Can video game journalists maintain their integrity while enjoying the perks of early access and exclusive content? Balancing the need for access with the responsibility to provide honest and unbiased reviews is a delicate dance. The recent funny business, pun intended, with Kinda Funny Games and the Insomniac leaks comes to mind. What essentially happened was a hacker group illegally gained access to the Insomniac files. Not like there was a way to gain access to them legally, but I digress. These files included dev builds of games in development, internal documents detailing the company's roadmap, company employee details, etc. Kinda Funny Games, one of the most recognizable platforms in gaming, refused to discuss said leaks.
Hello everyone, it's me, Greg Miller from Kinda Funny Games, and if you didn't know, Insomniac was held ransom by some cyber hackers, the types, you know what I mean, saying that they wanted $2 million or they'd release a whole bunch of Insomniac files. And they did that. Insomniac did not give them the money. The hackers released the files, and now the internet is in flames as all sorts of information about Wolverine, Insomniac, personal data of the developers, and so much more is floating around. This has led to a giant conversation about how this should be handled in reporting video game news. I wanted to come to you and talk to you about how we'll approach it on Kinda Funny Games Daily today. Today, we will not go into the details of this leak. We will instead talk about the human component. All the developers at Insomniac who just had years and years of work published when it was not ready to be seen, information published when it was not ready to be seen, contracts published when they were not ready to be talked about, and of course, their own personal information shared against their will. This is an invasion of their privacy, done in one of the most malicious ways possible. So today on Games Daily, we will focus on the human element of this. Of course, going forward in the years to come, there will be references to this information because it is out there in the public sphere, but we don't think it's newsworthy today when so many people, actual human beings, are in a lot of pain. So that's how we're going to do it today on Games Daily. So let's.
I'd like to address the video briefly. Greg Miller said they would not be discussing the leaks and will instead be focusing on the human component. I find this statement laughable. Human component? Are you serious? No one cares about the personal details of the developers that got leaked. Case in point, the fact that the Wolverine dev build was trending for days on end. Not one day, scratch that. Not a single hour did the Insomniac developer personal details trend. This is a disingenuous statement purposefully insulting the intelligence of the audience. Just say you're in too deep with Sony and Insomniac to discuss a heavily damaging topic on account of your personal relationship with them. People prefer an honest crook to a dishonest one. It is for this reason that reputable publications like IGN and Kotaku reported on this news while purposefully omitting all the details directly relating or related to the developers and staff at Insomniac. Of course, this is a self-mutilating sword because whenever the next leaks do occur, and they always do, everyone will be checking to see if Kinda Funny Games keeps the same energy. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. This video is a public service announcement to all that words have meaning, and just because a tiger quacks and waddles does not make it a duck. A quick Google or Bing search for Kinda Funny Games will vomit out the following response. Kinda Funny is an online entertainment company that produces videos and podcasts on video game culture, film, television, and comics. Which is to say, they're not journalists. They are an entertainment company, and that is all. So if angry gamers feel betrayed by dishonest journalists, this must not include Kinda Funny Games and other similar platforms. Assigning journalistic legitimacy and responsibility to these platforms is akin to getting upset at TMZ for going hard on Dave Chappelle's every slip-up while ignoring a certain president's son's laptop debacle. Journalism has come a long way, adapting to societal changes and technological advancements. Video game access media, while providing exciting opportunities for gamers, do not as a whole represent journalism. You want to know who the platforms are that have integrity? Go and check out who reports on news that makes Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo look bad. Find those outlets and find the closest thing to journalism in this day and age. Because let's face it, in its purest form, journalism has not been whole for a long, long time.
I am Fox Headley. Wolf. Downstairs.
No. Fact. This is
Dude.
backwards.
What? It's extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Dangerous to our democracy.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is 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 extremely dangerous to our democracy.
As consumers, it's essential for us to be aware of these dynamics and demand transparency from the outlets we follow. After all, the heart of journalism lies in its commitment to truth and accountability, serving the public interest. I would suggest you follow IGN, Kotaku, Games Informer, VGC, and the likes if you're looking for video game journalism, not entertainment. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. TSWS has content out almost every weekday, with the latest news and games being showcased and discussed by Ham Solo, Cozy Beluga, Matt Likes Games, Loke7, and other special guests. TSWS memberships are live and will give you access to all of our backstage shenanigans before and after we go live.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.